This destroys men faster than porn. There's something killing men. Not loudly, not suddenly, quietly, invisibly, with a smile on its face. And no, it's not porn, not alcohol, not laziness. It's something far more dangerous, because it hides in plain sight. It slips into your life dressed as responsibility, coded in routine, disguised as being a man. It tells you that this is what adulthood looks like. Wake up, dress up, go to work, pay bills, numb your dreams, do what's expected, say what's safe, smile when you feel nothing, laugh when your soul is choking, and slowly your hunger dies, your fire fades, not because you lost your will, but because the system trained it out of you, because every time you wanted to do something bold, they told you to calm down. Every time you tried to speak your truth, they reminded you to be polite. Every time you felt something real, you were told to suppress it. This is how men die before they're buried. Not from vices, but from living a life that was never theirs to begin with. Most men aren't destroyed by addiction. They're destroyed by compliance, by silently following a script that was never written by them. They take the job that drains them, stay in relationships that shrink them, and call it security. They smile in photos while dying inside because they don't want to disappoint, because being accepted is safer than being authentic. So they betray themselves, gradually, piece by piece, and society applauds. Look at him, they say. He's stable, he's responsible, he provides. But nobody sees the cost. No one sees the dreams buried under meetings and deadlines. The art he abandoned for approval. The thoughts he swallowed because they were too much. The tears he never shed because real men don't cry. He's not alive. He's just functioning. A ghost with a paycheck. You know what's worse than failure? Succeeding at a life you never wanted. Earning money but losing your soul. Being admired but never truly known. A man can build an empire, yet feel like a prisoner inside it. Why? Because he traded his truth for validation. Because somewhere along the way, he stopped asking, "What do I want?" and started asking, "What do they expect from me?" That's the trap. That's the slow poison. When you let your life be shaped by what's acceptable, not by what's authentic, and the world won't warn you. In fact, they'll reward you for losing yourself, so long as you play the part, so long as you keep quiet. But deep down, you know, there's a restlessness inside you, a quiet scream. It doesn't want more money, it doesn't want more attention, it just wants you to come back to yourself. There's a point where a man stops dreaming, not because he's tired, but because he's been trained to believe dreaming is childish. He's told to be realistic, to settle down, to choose the smart option. But what they really mean is, choose fear, choose predictability, choose a life that doesn't scare anyone, especially not the people around you. Because when you shine too bright, insecure people will try to dim your light, and they'll do it with advice, with concern, with warnings dressed as love. Don't take that risk. Are you sure that's a good idea? You should just be grateful. But gratitude without growth is just quiet desperation, and men are drowning in it every day, not from external pain, but from the internal war between who they are and who they were trained to be. And the longer you ignore that war, the more it eats you alive. The saddest part? Most men don't even know they're dying, because society doesn't measure life in aliveness. It measures it in performance. Are you productive? Are you stable? Are you consistent? No one asks. Are you fulfilled? Are you inspired? Are you alive inside? They don't want those answers. Because if men started answering honestly, the system would collapse. If men admitted they felt numb, trapped, empty, then suddenly the jobs they stay in, the roles they play, the silence they keep, would all be exposed as cages. And here's the dangerous truth. You can decorate a cage with comfort, but it's still a cage. You can have a Netflix subscription, a 401k, and a nice car, and still hate waking up in the morning. You can laugh at memes and still cry when no one's watching, because success means nothing if it costs you your soul. Men weren't built to be silent providers. They were built to lead, to create, to protect something deeper than just status. But somewhere along the way, that got replaced. Now, men are rewarded for how well they suppress their emotions, their needs, their wildness. They're told to be nice, to be agreeable, to be harmless. But harmless men aren't safe. They're suffocating. Because power isn't found in pretending. Power is found in knowing exactly who you are and refusing to apologize for it. But most men never get that far. They're too buried beneath the layers of expectation, too tangled in the need to be liked, too exhausted from chasing an image that was never theirs. And every year, their fire gets dimmer, not because it's gone, but because it's ignored, buried, starved. And what isn't fed eventually dies. But here's the twist most never see. You don't need to burn your life down to start over. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow or vanish into the woods. You need to wake up inside. You need to stop asking what the world wants from you and start asking what your soul has been whispering for years. That quiet voice you've been ignoring, that's your truth. And it's tired of being silenced. It doesn't care about how many followers you have, how many hours you work, or how many people approve of you. It only cares about one thing. Are you alive, or just performing aliveness? Because most men aren't depressed. They're disconnected from their purpose, from their fire, from themselves. And that's what kills them faster than any addiction. Not weakness, but numbness. A slow death dressed up as being fine. So here's the moment that separates the living from the lost. When you finally stop numbing and start listening. When you stop trying to be everything for everyone and finally become something real for yourself. That doesn't mean you abandon your responsibilities. It means you stop abandoning yourself in the name of them. It means you get brutally honest. What do I want? What lights me up? What am I pretending not to feel, just to make everyone else comfortable? Because the man who rediscovers his fire is dangerous. Not because he harms, but because he can no longer be controlled. He's not seeking permission. He's not waiting to be saved. He saves himself. And in doing so, he gives other men permission to do the same. To live. Not just exist. Not just function. But to feel. To fight. To stand in their truth. Unapologetically. That right there is how men truly rise.